There are certain people who just have a knack for gardening, and then there's the rest of us who wish we did. But our next guest says when it comes to planting, there's no green thumb required.
Well, spring has sprung. I'm Don Rosenberg, the Instant Organic Gardener, and we're here at Lowe's Home Improvement in Concord Mills, and I'm going to show you today how to start a garden for beginners that's no digging, no tilling, and no weeding. Now first, let me tell you what you're not going to need. You're not going to need one of these big things, because when you till existing soil, you bring up weed seeds that are dormant for 20 to 50 years, and the rest of your life as a gardener is going to be spent pulling the weeds that you woke up with your tiller. Now, because we're not tilling our garden and bringing up the weed seeds, we don't need weed killers. Also, we don't want to use synthetic fertilizers because they wash through the soil very quickly and they actually kill the life in the soil, and that's what makes your plants healthy. Now that we know what we don't need, let me tell you how we're going to do this. 6 words: raised beds, weedless soil, organic fertilizers. That's all you need. Now, a raised bed is just a box without a bottom. And so when you get to the lumber yard, you're going to look for a 2 by 12, 12-foot long section of wood, and then have the guys at the lumber yard cut it at the 3-foot mark, and you're going to need 2 of these. Now think about that. You're going to have 2 sides that are 3 feet, and then the long ends are going to be 9 feet long. So we have our raised bed. Now what are we going to fill it with? Now, any bagged garden soil is going to be weedless. That's great, but this can get very expensive. All we need for an inexpensive garden soil is the local brand of topsoil, and then mix that with a high-quality cow manure compost. I like Black Cow in those bright yellow bags. Now, your ratio is by volume. It's 1/3 of the Black Cow and 2/3 of the topsoil. You mix that together, and you've got a great garden mix, and you're going to spend about 1/3 as much as buying one of those expensive mixes. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is organic fertilizers. Now, I like Plantone. It's a balanced fertilizer. It stays in the soil instead of washing through, and it gives the plants all the nutrients that they need. You can also go to a good garden center and look for worm castings, which is worm poop. That works just as well or better. So now we have our raised beds, our weedless soil, and our organic fertilizers. Now, what are we going to plant in our spring garden? Again, this is springtime in Charlotte, and that means we're going to be planting cool season crops. Now think of a giant bowl of salad. Lettuce, spinach, peas, carrots, radishes, beets. Those are cool season crops. Now all of those crops, in fact almost every crop, plants better from seed. Just look at the package to find out how big your plants are going to be and how far apart to plant them. Now, believe it or not, there's only 2 kinds of seeds. There's the big seeds like peas, and then tiny seeds like spinach. For peas, you simply lay your seeds down in the soil, press them about a 1/2 inch, pat it all down. For the tiny seeds, sprinkle them evenly throughout the area you're going to plant, and then cover them with 1/8 of an inch of soil. Now use a watering wand for the next week or 2 to keep those tiny seeds watered, and they'll germinate perfectly. Now in the Carolinas, the time to start a spring garden from seed is February 15th. Now we're obviously past that time now, so here's a trick that'll get you caught up. Come out to the garden center and get some transplants. Plant those now and your seeds, and you'll be caught up and having a great spring garden, even though you might be a little bit late. Now, a note of caution. When you're at the garden center, you're going to see these. These are tomatoes. You're also going to see peppers. You're going to see eggplants. Those are summer crops. And if it gets 32 degrees at night, even one night, these plants are going to drop dead, which means you're going to have to come out and buy them all over again. So stick to the cool season crops and plant from seeds and transplants, and you will have the best spring garden ever. I'm Don Rosenberg, the Instant Organic Gardener.
So Don has 2 books. Here they are: No Green Thumb Required and The Organic Gardener's Cookbook. You can find them and more information at instantorganicgarden.com. That's instantorganicgarden.com. Thanks to Don Rosenberg for that information. Kind of makes me want to go plant a garden for a nice salad.
Save yourself some money.
I would like it. All right.